Quickly here, I'm going to mention that I only use a tiny mic in the podcast video for about 10 minutes, then I stop so the sound does get better. So just hold on tight for 10 minutes.
Pretty, petty, unfiltered, babe. Spill the tea, say the name, never behave. Love, drama, late night secrets revealed. Pretty, petty, unfiltered, that's the deal. Unfiltered.
So, we need to talk. Welcome back to the Pretty Petty Unfiltered podcast. I am your host, Serena Laturnus. Yes, I think it's been over a month now since I've recorded the last episode. As you can see, if you're watching the video, I am outside using a tiny little mic. I bought some new mics off of Temu, so we're giving it a shot to see how these ones do. Gotta adjust the table out here. And yeah. So, major update. Sad, very, very sad update. I'm not sure if I had mentioned in one of the last episodes that Charlie wasn't feeling too well and I was going to take him to the vet and everything and all that kind of stuff. So Charlie had developed a cough. I'm going to try not to cry. He had a little bit of a, then he'd be fine. And I was like, okay, maybe he's got a cold. So I waited a couple days just to see if he would improve. Because dogs cough sometimes and then they're okay. Had bone broth and everything. And it just wasn't clearing up. So I booked him into the vet. Those few days later, got him into the vet. And they did, she took like her thing to hear his heart and his lungs and all that stuff. And she could hear that he had some fluid near his lungs and in like his chest area. Oh my god, there's a wasp. And she's like, okay, well, let's do an x-ray to like see what's going on, to like clear some things up. And they did blood work. So they did an x-ray and they did 2 different images. The abdominal area on an x-ray is supposed to be like all black, the whole area, but his wasn't. There was some like white spots on the screen. And then the other image showed some spots on like some of his like organs on the inside. And the thing most that I wish would never have happened or would ever happened is to have an animal that has cancer. And that's exactly what Charlie had. I forget which kind of cancer it is. I know I had looked it up. It started with an H. Herma, something rather. It's very common in German Shepherds. Usually goes after the heart and the spleen. And sure shit, that's where some of the he had tumors on his heart, his spleen, his whole abdominal area. Basically showed that the cancer was just spread everywhere. And I didn't know how long I'd have left with him because he was really slow and not acting his normal self. Because like he was walking slower on the walks I had taken him on. And I just knew something wasn't okay, which is why I had to get him in. But then to find out that it was cancer, like instantly crushed me. And I was like, well, is there anything I can do? Like, do we know what kind it is? If there's anything he can take that would like slow the process? She's like, well, basically because of how severe and how far gone it already is, there was nothing really he could do. I'm gonna need to get a Kleenex. Okay, I'm back. And before I get any further deeper into this, just gonna do like a massive trigger warning because I'm already crying, so I'm pretty sure Lots of other people will cry. If you don't want to hear any of this, honestly, you're just gonna have to jump forward at least 5 minutes or so. Of course, Milo wanted in, and then back out. Okay, so. Oh my god, why am I yawning? I'm not tired. So, this is gonna be a sad beginning to the podcast, but you kind of need to hear what happened to understand why I've been gone for so long. And I'm still struggling to even do this right now. Because, like, I'm trying to push myself to get to the motivation to do it. Because I'm like, also, my yard stuff is pretty well, it's just about completed fully. I'll show some of that in this video too, of like my progress and what have I done and all that kind of stuff. But back to my fur baby Charlie Bear. So what the vet had told me is that I could send, some of like they try to get the fluid out. First, they try to get some fluid out of his abdominal area to like help him breathe and stuff, but it was too hard for him to breathe laying on his back, so they weren't able to get anything out, which really fucking sucked. But she had said that they could send some of like the images and the blood work, and his blood work came back pretty well normal, except for that it was starting to show that he was beginning to be anemic. So, which means like his blood. So he's bleeding out in the inside, basically, very slowly. So he wasn't fully anemic, which she was shocked by how far gone he already was. Yeah, so she said that she sent it away to like a specialist to see if there's anything that we could do, but it would cost me a $5,000 just for that. So then and there, I'm also panicking now because $5,000 is a lot of money. I said, think about it. I don't know. Is there really anything in her opinion that? Oh my god, Milo. Milo, please stop. Anything in her opinion that I could do to help him, and even like what's her opinion on how much longer he has? Basically, prognosis was not great. So I was hoping to be able to like take him home so he could be with like Penny and Phoebe and my parents and Milo and be able to see them again before he goes and everything, because I knew like he was not doing okay. He barely wanted to get up, but I managed to take him to my parents' house. But she gave me medication for roughly 2 days because I wanted to at least have him there, and to see if I could have him for at least a couple days so I could set up an appointment to have the vet come to my house. My parents' house was the plan, and then like have him pass in their house like peacefully and stuff. So take him home. I went to my parents' house because I couldn't decide if I wanted to take him back to my house or their house, because my house is also his house, but he also grew up in my parents' house the majority of his life also. So like he knows both places. So it took him to my parents' house. I didn't send the stuff away uh, to the vet, to the specialist, sorry, to get a further prognosis. Like, what could there be, treatments or whatever? And I'm like looking up all these things. I looked up all the different types of dog cancers, and the one that mainly happens is I think it's the one that he did have without like a for sure vet diagnosis. All the symptoms and how he ended up passing, I'm pretty sure it was the one that I was thinking of, the sort of with an H. But taking him to my parents' house, and I leave him there with my dad, and then so he could see like Penny and Phoebe and stuff. And then I went and go out and picked up Milo because Milo was still at home, and I was still working because I work remotely, so I'm like trying to do two things at once, hoping like I won't be here long, just to like get some medicine and try to feel better. Yeah, as soon as I found out that he had cancer, I instantly was like, no, I'm done. I can't do life right now. I told him at work, I'm done. And I just like signed off, closed it, emailed, was off. I was like, fuck this. So took my work stuff home also to my house, dropped it all off, picked up Milo, went back to my parents' house. And my best friend Kaylee also came over. She came to the vet. My dad came to the vet because like I was like a wreck. I called my mom, bawling my eyes out, finding out this was happening. It's like the one thing I didn't want the most was a cancer diagnosis. Oh my god! So have you seen me with the fucking sandal swatting things around? There's wasps outside. I'd rather be outside enjoying the weather than inside. So I'm in my little gazebo. If you're watching on video. So I took Milo back to my parents' house so they could kind of play, because animals understand death, okay? So don't just like, I didn't want to just like take Milo totally out of it and then all of a sudden him wonder why Charlie was gone, that he was never coming back home, and him not understanding. I didn't want that. So all the dogs were at my parents' house. Mom and dad were there, and then Kaylee came too. And I came back. My iPhone 15 Pro has to be a bitch and get super hot, so I had to stop using that phone and change phones to my iPhone 13. I think that's the one. Yeah, I think this one, my original, is an iPhone 15 Pro. Yeah, I need to get a new iPhone. I'm like eligible next month, but do I really want to pay again a bajillion dollars for so much shit? So the audio on this will be interesting. It's either gonna be shit or it'll be alright, because we are outside. I'm gonna bring my table closer to me. I'm on a different stand. It says 360 view thing. I haven't actually ever used it, but it's supposed to like track where you go, but I haven't not connected it. So cheers, motherfuckers. We're opening a Dylan cocktail gin. This one is black cherry and a touch of cranberry. Good shit. Dylan Small Batch Distillery. How about you sponsor me? Drink these all day, any day. The vodka ones are also really good, but this one's gin. Okay. So, as I left off, we're at my parents' house with Charlie. Oh my god, I got a cough from the damn drink. There with Charlie, and I need a better angle. This is shitty looking with my chin. Oh my god. Fucking wasps everywhere. Okay, so I was hoping to get him to the 23rd so it doesn't happen on Milo's birthday. Two things I didn't want to happen. Him have cancer, him or Milo have cancer, and then it is happening on Milo's birthday. News update, it happened on Milo's birthday. So overnight I had brought my stuff over to my parents' house. Some clothes, dog beds, dog toys, stuff for Charlie, that his favorite stuff, like his Lammy. He loved his lamb chop. It's his favorite toy. I'd always buy him Lammy for his birthday. Every year. Because it was his favorite. It's one toy he refused to destroy was his Lammies. He loved his Lammies. Fuck, now this AC unit's gonna be really loud. This is gonna be another one of those episodes where I have to insert all this stuff together. I just stop the video, go inside, turn off the AC, because the AC outside is so fucking loud you can hear it on the camera. Anyways, like I was saying, two things that didn't want to happen. Charlie have cancer or Milo have cancer, and then it happened on Milo's second birthday. So overnight, I had brought a bunch of my stuff there, some dog beds, Charlie's favorite dog bed, and then there's one he sleeps on every night. It's this big rectangle orthopedic dog bed that has kind of like little ridges on the outside, so it's kind of like a big ass couch, but it's a rectangle. And he would always lay it every night behind the stairs in my bedroom. And yes, I have stairs in my room that I made for Charlie specifically because my bed is so high off the ground. It's like at least 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall off the ground, that even I have to do a little jump or go up the steps that I built for my dog to use. And he would always sleep behind them. So I had the bed brought with me, and he did sleep beside me, which was really nice, in that bed. So I was like holding his paw and he's looking at me and everything. He wanted to go out twice. All the dogs did. First one, it was like 2 in the morning or 3 or something, and the second time was like 5 a.m. ish. So I let him out, and I just go lay down for a little bit, and I hear Milo bark. I'm like, okay, it's time to let them in. I go to let the dogs in, and I look out, and Charlie has collapsed in the doggy pool. Thankfully, his head was on the outside of the pool, so it wasn't submerged in water, just his body was. So I managed to lift him up and get him to walk into the back entrance, and then he instantly just laid down. So then I'm panicking, getting my dad to like tell me like where the towels are that I can use to put on Charlie, because Charlie's soaking wet. And I know he's not going to last much longer, so I need to call a 24-hour vet. So I'm like petting him and kissing him and stuff and saying I love him. And I need to get changed because I need to take him to the 24-hour vet, and I'm in like t-shirt and shorts because that's my pajamas that I have. So I tell my dad, I'm like, can you please sit with Charlie so he's not alone while I go get changed, because I need to take him to the vet because I know he's not going to last much longer. So I kiss Charlie and everything, and wait for my dad to come sit beside him, and then I go and get changed, and then I call the 24-hour vet. So I get hold of the vet, 24-hour vet, and they're like, okay, can you check the color of his gums to see what they are, because then we'll be able to know like what we can do if it's an emergency, all that stuff. So I go and ask my dad, because he's in the kitchen, Charlie's in the back entrance laying on the floor. And at this point, Charlie's breathing is extremely like fast, but he was like like that. And I asked my dad, can you check the color of his gums? And he said he just took his last breath. Say the person on the phone, I'm like, okay, never mind. They're like, I'm so sorry. They sent me some grievance like information, texts and stuff to help with the grieving of a pet, which was nice, but I didn't fully go all into that. I was like already crying, obviously. So 2 things that I never wanted to happen happened. Charlie having cancer and him passing on Milo's birthday, and both happened. Happened like within 8 hours of finding out the diagnosis of what was wrong. He had passed. It happened so fast. And I can still picture him in the doggy pool collapsed. And when I had researched dog cancers, it did say what could happen is that it could, like, the cancer could like burst, which would cause them to collapse. So I don't know if he was like in fully pain or at what point, because my cousin said when like a person, I hope I get the same way for an animal, when you don't have enough oxygen to your head, it's like you feel kind of high and you don't really realize what's going on. So I'm kind of hoping that's what happened, because he did look very dazed and confused the last like 2 days, like right before and then that day. So my love bug, Charlie Bear, passed on July 22nd, 2026. He was just over 9.5 years old. He'd be 10 October 19th of this year. So this is the main reason why I haven't recorded any episodes, because it's like I need to tell you an update of what's been going on in my life, and it's just so hard to find the motivation and energy to do this, to record myself talking about what happened. And I know the more I talk about it, the easier it does get. Okay, I had to stop the camera because I had to blow my nose and it was not sounding good. And I'm still crying. So that's why I didn't record anything, release anything. And there's this private company, Faithful Friends Cremation. to the cremation or crematorium, but it's for pets. And the guy actually lives in the north end of Regina too. My best friend, Kaylee, her German Shepherd Bella passed away exactly a month and 10 days before Charlie did. And Charlie was actually the main reason why my best friend Kaylee and I reconnected 10 years ago. Because she had seen a post on Facebook that I was interested in getting a German Shepherd dog, and I was like, wanting her opinion because I saw that she had one. So Charlie was the reason that I reconnected with my best friend. So it's also really hard knowing that he's gone. And we had always joked that Charlie and Bella would have the cutest puppies because both their temperaments were great, their colors. We both loved their colors and everything. So it just really sucks. It's really hard. And she's also having a hard time. So her soul dog, my soul dog, are both gone. But back to the crematorium. This guy does private ones, so you can have your pet or your fur baby cremated separately. They say they do it at the Humane Society, but like you just never really know, and it's expensive, like cremation. So like I'd rather just know for sure that my baby is by himself with his stuff in there and no other animals or anything like that. So I'm calling this man at like 5:30 a.m. and sending him a text and letting him know like what happened, and I need him to come as soon as possible because he does like pick up or like delivery free. The fee was like $45, which is really good because no way in hell could I have lifted Charlie up or carried Charlie to go and do that. So when he got there, I was like, do I need to help you or anything? Do I need help lift him? He's like, no, not unless you want to. I was like, okay, I definitely can't. But like Charlie's 110 pounds. Like he was a big boy. So thankfully, this gentleman was so good and was able to actually lift him up himself. And he had like this, kind of like a wrap, but not really. But like a blanket, but also not like a blanket. It had like handles around the whole thing. So then he would like put one side underneath Charlie and then the other side to be able to like hold him up. But I had put Charlie underneath a blanket that I was gonna have go with him. It was one of my little childhood blankets. And then I gave Charlie also to take with him. It was the Avengers Captain America dog toy from Costco that was one of his favorites, and then a Spider-Man dog toy also that was one of his favorites, also from Costco. And I forgot, I don't know if I gave him one lamb chop or two, or if I got his lamb chops, I don't remember. But I know these were his favorite toys, so I made sure to have that go with him. And the gentleman was amazing. He let me do all that. He let me give Charlie a kiss on the head and pet him and tell him I love him and miss him in my house. And then once he brought him outside and back to the back of his truck, he let me do it again, and he was super nice about the whole thing. So that also helped. He was like talking Charlie through the whole thing, like, oh, sorry buddy, got your paws on the door there, all this kind of stuff. He's like, oh, you're a big boy, like talking to Charlie. So it was really nice that he was like that. Made it a little bit easier for me, but like still super hard to see my boy go. And then I got keepsakes. I got his 4 paw prints. They're kind of like in, I have to attach a photo of what they look like, but they're like in these square, or kind of like like a rectangle size paw prints. So I got each one, his front, his back too, because I want to get a tattoo of his paw print. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do them all or just one, or I don't know. But Charlie's paw prints are so freaking big that they just fit into this little box thing, and it's kind of like that kinetic sand that you can like squish it in and then it stays formed. That's kind of what it looks like, but they're really nice. And then I also got his ashes back. He's a big boy, he's very heavy on all the paw prints. And then we were going to the lake that following weekend, so I made sure to take some of Charlie's ashes with me because Charlie loved supermaning off the dock. He always loved to go swimming at the lake. As soon as he saw we were near the docks, I would let him off the leash. He'd just go run and dash into the water, or he'd go run down the dock and wait. He's looking at me like, Mom, where's the stick? Where's the stick? So then I go get one and then I throw it and then he'd zoom up, jump off the dock. And I can't find all the videos. And I know I have a whole bunch of them, but I had one, so I was able to add it to this little video that I made because I also scattered some of his ashes. So I made a video that I'll attach into this at the end in case you don't want to see it. It's very emotional, but this whole episode is going to be dedicated to Charlie. But I will talk about some other like reality TV stuff and stuff that's been going on in my house, because I don't want to make this one just super sad episode and have everybody crying at the end. Well, everybody might cry at the end, but at least I want to add some other stuff into here. But I did a little video of scattering his ashes, and it was really nice and very sad. And when Charlie had passed, I stayed at my parents' house for another night because I was just not ready to go home, to be at home like with him not being there. And then Milo's not seeing his brother there. He's a big brother. And for a few days I could tell Milo was sad and like looking around, wondering where he was, and like searching the backyard. So my friend Jessica and her dog Sophie, which is also a golden that she had actually adopted from me, was one of my fosters, came over to play. I've tried taking Milo to the dog parks a couple times. He liked them there. I got a little overwhelmed the one time. He didn't want to stay very long. But things are going decently better now. But now I'm super paranoid. Whenever Milo coughs, whenever he breathes funny, breathes too heavy, I'm like all sketched out just because of how Charlie was breathing. But now I'm like, it can be anything. I'm gonna have to book him in. Yeah, it's just been a lot. So that's kind of the whole recap on the biggest reason why I haven't podcasted in so long. Was that my fur baby, my soul dog Charlie, had passed away July 22nd, 2026, on Milo's birthday. Okay, so now that the sad part has been discussed and is over, let's talk about some other stuff. What has happened this past month? A lot. Am I gonna remember it all? Probably not. Let's just jump into something kind of crazy. I don't know if any of y'all who are listening to this or whatever seen the stuff that happened with Perez Hilton on TikTok live streaming. Super fucked up. And of course, my curiosity, I'm like, what's going on? Everybody's posting about something. I'm like, okay, let's look on X. Oh my god. So what we've all pretty well speculated is that because he had previously he was septic, so he had sepsis, you can go into a sepsis psychosis, I think it's called. Oh, Milo's going into the pool. Sepsis psychosis, so can forget who you are, what you're doing. People you could be seeing things, all this kind of stuff. So he was on TikTok live trying to unalive himself with knives. I don't know how many knives. I just saw the one in the video that he was cutting himself all over the place. He was covered in blood, head to toe, butt ass naked. In the video I saw, I didn't really see any junk or whatever, just from where it was filming. It was just about all the way down there. And he was just running the knife. It looked like a serrated bread knife to me. Everybody kept calling it a butcher knife, but to me a butcher's knife is the square. It could be a square, a rectangle, and it's kind of one. Not that one looked like a serrated knife. Maybe they're called different all over the place. I don't know. But he was rubbing it all over the place, down his legs, on his back, near his butt, between his groin, all over the place. And saying all the shit and spitting out blood. And the clips that I saw on Twitter that had the snippets of it from TikTok were just insane. The cops were outside of his house. Oh my god, there was a wasp. Cops are outside of his house trying to obviously get him to come outside so they can take him in to the hospital because he was not okay. They haven't even had many updates yet. He's still at the hospital. and still not able to leave due to everything that happened. I guess his kids were originally in the house, and his sister took them out, like rushed them out of the house. So yeah, super messed up. And everybody's like, is there a way to sue TikTok and all this? Because like, how did they allow that to go on for so long? I think it was like 32 or 35 minutes. It was over half an hour for sure that this live was going. And like, people get banned or said they violated TikTok's rules within like a minute. If somebody's kid pops up on a screen, if I don't know if they have like a bikini thing, if they look naked and all this kind of stuff, that they will get banned and kicked off the app. So how did they allow somebody trying to unalive themselves, doing self-harm, do that for over a half an hour on their platform? Well, now we're back to the other phone, the iPhone 15 Pro, because now the iPhone 13 said I have no storage and I have over a gig left still. So, but it's like, nope, no more recording. My iPhone 15 Pro has cooled off now, so it's not like fiery hot anymore. So I'm just not going to use the microphone attachment. I'm just going to do this. I got to figure out a different way to record the podcast because I cannot have a phone just stopping out of nowhere. Like, if I wasn't facing the camera and seeing myself on the video, then I would have never known that the recording stopped. Anyways, like I was saying, I don't know how TikTok allowed that happen for so long. So fucked up. Completely. So that's been, I think, the biggest thing that's happened lately in pop culture was just the Perez Hilton, like, meltdown. I think for the most part, they've gotten all the videos off of the internet. They're probably out there somewhere. People obviously screen recorded them, but there hasn't been a whole lot of updates from the family because they're even having struggles getting information from the hospital because he is technically a celebrity or high profile, that they have to be very careful with who they tell anything to because, of course, the media wants it all. And I mean, Perez, in his right mind, he would understand because he is not the paparazzi, but he is the media, right? That's his whole thing. And then you see the backlash, everybody like, well, he was always talking shit about Britney and da-da-da-da and all this, and how he deserves it. Nobody deserves to be unalive. No one deserves that. Like, I sympathize with Perez, and I totally get the other side of things also, because yeah, he was horrible in his past, but he's also admitted that. He continues to apologize for that. Like, that was also like a decade ago. And I get a lot of it was fucked up. Some people have probably forgiven him. And time, like, things, people move on. But to say that somebody deserves that is just not okay. When you see somebody's clearly struggling and there's kids involved because he has 3 children, it's just like a lot. So I hope Perez Hilton, in my opinion, is okay, gets better. And that's my opinion and thought on that. It's just not a good situation. So I would say praying for him, but I'm not religious, so I don't pray. I'm just hoping that him and his family will be all right. He continues to get the help he needs. And yeah. I don't know if I ever talked about The Valley on here previously. Well, The Valley finished, and that's the one with like the spin-off of Vanderpump Rules with the cast. It has mainly the main person would be like, well, now Tom in this season, Tom Schwartz, but Kristen Dowdy, and then she was like the main one. Now there's Lala Kent also, she's back. And then like their group of friends, there's always so much drama happening. And this guy, Danny, Darkside Danny, and all this shit, and their reunion happened. And of course everybody's ganging up on Danny too, and everybody just yelling back and forth, saying all this fucked up shit. And Danny, of course, likes to keep lying, saying he didn't drink, he doesn't drink, he didn't drink at the wedding, but apparently he was already shit-faced. Like, just never-ending shitstorm over there. But, like, it also wasn't a super interesting season either. There's always just so much lying happening. I don't know, like, it's one of those shows that you don't really have to fully pay attention to, because it's kind of just like a maybe brain rot type of TV show. I don't know. And like just trying to think about everything when I'm just like exhausted from just crying now. Just wiped. Yeah, that reunion was like meh, and they made it 3 parts because there was just so much yelling and shit going back and forth. Another one I'm watching is NYC Next Gen. That one has a bunch of like celebrities' kids mainly, who all live together. Not really live together, they all live in New York. And it's like their friend group that they're there. It's another Bravo type TV show because Vanderpump Rules was a Bravo show. The Valley's a Bravo show. Now NYC Next Gen's also a Bravo show. It's basically these 20-something group of friends. 20-somethings in a group of friends, not 20 friends, but they're in their 20s. Navigating life in New York City. And right now, there's this one girl trying to date was dating this one guy, and they broke up, and then the boyfriend was said to this new guy, Liam, that's now in, like, the group here, saying, oh, well, you better watch out, because you can't be seeing her, because she's my girl, da-da-da, yet they literally broke up, and then the chick's like, what the fuck? Like, no, you can do whatever you want. Hudson's his name, the ex, that said, like, she's my girl, you better stay the fuck away from him. And Liam's the guy that's now, like, trying to see her. I forget what her name is. Ariana. Ariana and Liam are, like, seeing each other. They haven't, like, apparently, I think they probably fucked this last episode. But they're, like, kind of cute together. They're cutesy, the little kissy. This Hudson guy, he's super rich, but he comes off very cocky in the show. But everybody has said that, like, their relationship, the breakup between Ariana and Hudson is fake, and it's just for the TV show, so I'm not too sure. I don't keep up on their social media very much, like, at all. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in their real life, but the show is, like, kind of slow going. I have to, like, watch it in parts, because I just get so bored, to be honest. Fucking wasps. There's gonna be, like, cameos of wasps flying in front of this fucking camera. I swear to God. Yeah, that's one show that I've been watching. I just about finished binging all of Big Bang Theory. I'm on the last season 12. I think I'm on, like, episode 5 or 6. So, just about done that. I think I've watched that series maybe once or twice fully, but I don't remember the last season. So, it's kind of like, now I have to pay attention. And then I usually would watch it and have, like, be vacuuming or cleaning or something. But now I'm like, oh shit, gotta pause it or rewind it so I can rewatch what's happening. Taking a sip. Other shows. I'm just starting this new show called The Double Lives of Suburban Wives. I think I brought it up on one of the episodes. It's like these suburban wives that live in a small town that are basically all doing adult content, basically OnlyFans. They're all doing OF, and somehow in the town they get found out, but, like, obviously while they're filming, people are gonna be like, oh, what's going on? I'm probably do a deep dive, and I'm only 20 minutes in on episode 1. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. But when they keep talking about, like, the one girl wears disguises and does it, I always think, like, I could do that and then just make money. But then it's like, how do you get found and, like, promoted without paying money? Like, I don't want to have to put more money into it than I already would have to. And then if you get caught, then, like, you're fucked. And what if you made no money from it? Then you're just literally fucked. So I go back and forth. But still nothing. Still nada. Still just applying for reality shows and still nada. Which is a bummer. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to show you what I've done to my backyard. All that I've done so far this summer. Oops, I'm shaking the camera. My fence, PVC vinyl fence, is done. My dad helped me with it. That's finished. I did all my pavers. I also recently added another small section in my with pavers on the other side of my deck, so that when I'm using my sprinklers and use the water connection and hoses and stuff, then I don't get muddy shoes constantly before I go in the house. I put up my gazebo on my deck. I painted my entire deck black. And then I'm working on regrowing the grass in this one section. Slowly going to be doing another section that's going to start growing, but mainly this one area. So far I still have blocked off. So let's take a little gander. I'm going to flip the camera and show you. So, as I had stated, the white vinyl fence is complete. Gate on there. The pavers are all complete. I have my pool set up. Then we go down all the pavers. As you can see beside here, the grass is now growing. That's also where I'm working on growing grass. Here are the pavers that are done. on the one side. Now returning here, other side of the deck. I'm working on cleaning this out because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's in there. This bucket was here, but over there the whole time. This is new. I added this, finished that a couple days ago. I just put this in here yesterday, so now I just have to re-level these and then put the polymeric sand in here so that the grass doesn't grow through there. And then that's done. And then I've used all of my pavers. And yeah, that's that. Because then at least now I can walk here and not step in mud. But this has to all grow back. There's a lot to grow back. Now, backing up, you will see I have my gazebo up on my deck. This gazebo does have curtains. And it has the mesh also for the mosquitoes. So we got the curtains, or the mesh here for the mosquitoes, and then the curtains here that go all the way around. I can insert a photo that I've taken that has it all fully enclosed in. And my deck is all black. But only the downside of a black deck is you can see the paw prints and footprints if it's muddy. But that's life. Now I'm also working on putting up all my string lights because I have, ignore the Kleenexes, I was crying outside. All these string lights. I've got about 10, I had 10 packs of them. So now I'm working on putting them up all along here because I want to have little twinkly lights all along there. And then all my rope lights are also already on the deck. I finished that as well. I swear to God, this season for wasps has been insane. I found 2 nests in front of my house. I found another one in the backyard today. There was one in like my east trough / like the shingle, and then another one underneath, kind of like where my window is. There's a gap underneath, and then it's like in the wall. There's a little tiny crack. Those motherfuckers are going in there. And I had done sprays. Sprays are not working, so now I'm on to this insecticide powder that they like track it into their hive, and then they kill the entire colony. Those little fuckers are gonna die. Then I found another one because there's so many in my fucking backyard, buzzing all over the place, pissing me right the fuck off. And then I found them beside my house where they just have like a bunch of pallets and random wood and old shit that I don't like go near. Yep, they're like in the ground under there. So what did I do? I put a fuck ton of powder right there. So it can take up to 3 days for everything to be fully killed out. But these fuckers are pissing me right the fuck off. And I've just killed 4 in a matter of 5 minutes. I'm over this shit. Yeah, as for my garden is very sad. I think I have 2 cucumbers growing and a couple pumpkins growing, but it's like just about the end of August and growing season is like just about done. But apparently I'm supposed to have some heat still in September, so hopefully maybe something, I'll still get some pumpkins and more cucumbers and maybe my corn. Like I even planted everything a week before the May long, and then all of our weather in all our weather in June just fucking sucked, so it like stunted all the growth of all my plants. It was basically a waste of planting everything this year. And as for my pond, I'm just gonna leave that till next year to re-put a tarp up because the summer is gonna be done in no time. There's gonna be fall, and then everything's gonna fall into the freaking pond, and I have to clean it all out again. And God, with my luck, I'll probably be another fucking wasp nest under there. So I just have a bunch of chicken wire and the stakes that I had used on the chicken wire to hold it up, just laying in the big empty pond hole that's just dirt. And then I had put a bunch of plants in the area, and most of them were all thriving, but now I got fucking bugs that are eating all of the leaves on everything. Milo, please stop barking. So now my rose plants are dying, my blueberry plants are dying, my bleeding hearts are dying. Like, what in the actual fuck is going on? Yeah, I don't know. I've been on holidays this past week and a half. And tomorrow, so I'm Saturday right now. This coming Sunday will be my last day of holidays until next Sunday. But I won't have any more vacation leave until December when I go to Mexico with my mom, my auntie, and my sister, and my niece. Milo, you're not going inside. You were just in the pool, and now you're dripping wet. Yeah. So life's a little fucking chaotic and a bit of a shit show. But that's kind of been what's been going on. I've just been mourning the loss of Charlie Bear, my big baby, my fur baby, my soul dog. Binge watching shows just to like keep my mind off things, and doing a bunch of yard work outside while I have the time off to have it done, because God only knows in no time there'll be the word I hate the most, snow outside, and ain't nobody want that bullshit. Yeah, I'm sorry for this super sad update. I don't really know what else to talk about. There are always so many random things going on. I feel like I might need to start like just videoing when I think of a topic right away. Just start it, doesn't matter what I look like, and then like at the end of the week or something, just put it all together and that's the episode. Just like quick updates, back to back to back to back to back. Because I feel like when I wait an entire week, then I forget the whole spiel of what I was gonna say. Then I'm like, fuck sakes, I forgot what I was talking about. Or the new topic, next topic has already happened. Yeah, I think that's what I might do going forward after this episode. Hoping things get better in my life, honestly, because it just has not been fun. There is a summer bash / craft sale and movie night in the park near my house, so my street is very, very busy. Yeah. But anywho, I think that's it. For this week's episode. I'm going to go change and go float in the pool and see if I can get Milo to go float in the pool again. I've done 2 days so far in a row with him on a floaty. He sat on one and then he finally laid on it the next day, the same floaty. And he was chill. So hopefully I can get him to go on it again and get another video of him. Progress. But my pool is not very deep, so he can touch the bottom. So when he swims, he takes big arm length paddle kind of thing, because he can touch the bottom. So he's like, I'm not gonna little doggy paddle. He's just gonna do a big step. But yeah. Anywho, I hope you guys all have a good week. I hope my fucking life gets better and turns around, because this shit's very depressing. But yeah, that's it for me. Signing off now. Talk to you guys in about a week. Hopefully it's in a week and not a month again, because this was not great. But yeah, have a good rest of your week. Talk to y'all in a week. Bye, bitches. I don't like the ending. We're gonna do it again one more time. I'll talk to y'all in a week, because you never know what tea's about to be spilled next. Bye, bitches. So even though today is my birthday, we are still also celebrating Charlie, and he is going to take his last Superman off the dock. I love you, Charlie.